Hey gamers, it's Who Was Phone, and we're back for part 7 of the Dark Souls playthrough. I feel like I'm dying today because I'm a little bit sick. Sore throat's gone. My sinuses are basically destroyed, so apologies in advance if the commentary's a little bad or if my voice sounds weird. It's probably just going to be the sickness doing that to me. I did want to get this video out though because I kind of want to stick to that one video a day thing unless it gets too busy. Today, I don't know what we're exactly going to be accomplishing. I want to beat Quelaag, but there are a couple things we have to do before we can go down to Blighttown and do that. And the first is that I'm going to be upgrading the Zwei a couple of times. I want to leave enough souls left over to buy Homeward, though, because I'll be doing a little bit of off-screen farming between this episode and the next one to get our Divine Weapon. What else is there to note? I think I forgot to talk about the Dragon King Great Axe we got last time, so we'll do that now. Dragon King Great Axe, and this was the weapon we got from cutting off the tail of the Gaping Dragon. 380 base damage, and no scaling whatsoever. Requires 50 strength to wield and 8 dexterity, and it weighs 24 pounds. This is a monster of a weapon, and I believe it has the highest base damage of any weapon in the game, which is why it stands out as one of the higher damaged weapons despite not having any scaling whatsoever. This axe, one of the rare dragon weapons, is formed with the tail of the Gaping Dragon, a distant deformed descendant of the everlasting dragons. The axe is imbued with a mystical power to be released when held with both hands. I've never used a Dragon King Great Axe because I just don't really play strength characters all that much, like pure strength characters. Maybe we'll fool around with that later. But the Gaping Dragon, not an everlasting dragon, a descendant of them. We'll see another descendant of the everlasting dragons when we make it to Ash Lake. But that is a little bit beside the point here. We still have to give Andre the Ember, so we'll do that now as well.
Ah, why, that's a fine ember you have there. I could smith some mighty weapons with one of those. Why not lend it to me? Magnificent! You won't be disappointed. I can hardly wait to get started.
So now Andre can reinforce our weapons to plus 10, so that's nice. Plus 10 is a prerequisite for a lot of the boss weapons, so being able to ascend them now is going to save us a lot of time. We actually only have one Titanite shards. We're probably going to have to buy some Titanite shards from him, which isn't a problem. They're a little bit expensive, but I think we should be okay getting one more level out of them. We need, what? 3 should be okay. Let's see what we can do. One more. Alright, so we got it to plus 3, which increases base damage to 169. Didn't do anything for the scaling, but that's alright. I just wanted to have a little bit more.
Don't get yourself killed. Neither of us want to see you go hollow.
Thanks, Andre. So yeah, I just wanted to give it a little bit more oomph before we hit into Blighttown. Quelaag isn't that hard of a boss, but it can be kind of a chore if your weapon doesn't do a lot of damage. That's kind of a theme of a lot of bosses. We saw it with the Gaping Dragon. So I want to nip that in the bud right now. You'll see from the amount of souls we have that I did a little bit of off-camera stuff before the episode started, but that was mainly just breaking all the item souls in my inventory. I cleared out the parish one time to see if we can get some shards, and then I farmed the demon foliage in the Darkroot Garden for a little while to get moss clumps in preparation for Blighttown. But that is not the only thing we have to do today. Blighttown at the bottom is a swamp, so that means that your movement speed is going to be restricted as if you're walking in waist-deep water. So before we head down there, we want to get a ring that allows us to roll and run and walk normally, and that is found back in the Undead Asylum, actually. I forget where to get the key, but it's somewhere over here. So what we're going to do is try to make this jump. I always have trouble with this one, man. It sucks. Now this drops us off into an area you can get to from the Firelink Shrine normally, but it has, I think this is Petrus's stash of items. A Morningstar and Talisman. He carries copies of those. Also, 4 cracked red eye orbs, an interesting item, and then I think these are Lloyd's talismans. Homeward bones. Whatever, man. What's in here? These are Lloyd's talismans. Okay, so yeah, I think that's believed to be Petrus's stash of items that he keeps. And I don't really know why they're there. That's snoring down there. That's Kingseeker Frampt, and he's underneath the chapel. Once we get the Lord Vessel, he's going to come back up. You'll see that Petrus is back from his journey, but he is missing his companions. We'll talk with him, maybe not this episode, maybe next. He is going to sell us homeward, though, so that's probably at least some interaction we're going to have. For now, we'll see if we can't make this jump. Wow, that was lucky. One of the big failings, I think, in my opinion, of the Dark Souls series is its platforming. I don't know why the developers keep wanting to have platforming segments in these games because... Oh, fuck. God damn it. But I don't know why they want to keep having platforming segments because the jump controls are really weird. There's not a designated jump button. The only way you can jump is by pressing the roll button while already running, which is already the sprint button too, if you hold it down. So it's really clunky, and sometimes it doesn't work right if you don't get the button presses exactly right, which can be frustrating. And not to mention the platforms they usually have you jump to can get you killed pretty fast because they're pretty narrow. We'll see that in the Great Hollow once we make it to Blighttown. These guys are awake. Try and invade them. We don't have a divine weapon yet, so they're going to keep coming back. If I get low on Estus, I'll rest and they'll reset. But for now, it's not that big a problem. It's not like we're going to be fighting them, and I don't think they can follow you to the lift. So hopefully, I can do this jump without it taking 15 minutes. That would be nice, because I would like to get some actual stuff accomplished today. But we kind of do need that Rusted Iron Ring. You can do it without it, definitely, but oh, good God. You can definitely do it without, but it makes the whole process a lot easier and a lot less frustrating. Come on, come on. It's easier to get up here on this platform from the rightmost elevator, because you can just walk right off as opposed to having to make that roll. I missed it again. Fantastic. Okay, this is probably going to be the last attempt. If I don't make it here, I guess we're just going to have to suck it up and go through without the Iron Ring. Don't see the skeletons down here, so yeah, they're lurking up here. They have interesting attack patterns too. They have that jump attack. The ones in the catacombs can do lunges, but their attacks reflect the weapons they use, which I believe are scimitars. All the curved swords kind of have that weird dancing attack style, which personally I think is kind of cool. But the curved swords aren't that great. Some of the curved great swords are pretty good though, like the Murakumo. Maybe we'll pick one of those up, because I think we might actually be pretty close to stats to wielding it. Okay, so this sucks, and I don't want to subject you guys to me missing any more jumps, so I'm just going to go rest at the Firelink Shrine bonfire. And we'll, I guess, just head down to Blighttown. One of my least favorite jumps out of all of the platforming segments in any of these games. In the interest of time, we'll save Laurentius for later as well. He should give us the same dialogue, really, no matter where we go. But we'll buy Homeward now and get a little bit of insight as to Petrus's backstory.
Oh, you again? Me? I've become separated from my lady. I've scoured near and far, but no sight of her. Where could she have gone? My lady, to think I swore to protect you with my life.
So he's lost his companions somewhere in the catacombs. We'll see if he knows where he lost them, when he became separated from the group, how they became separated, by talking to
Your
him.
Highness, where have you gone? I am entirely to blame for this. Oh, woe is me. I am unworthy, deathly so. Oh, I'm sorry. Miracles, was it? Sometimes I lose myself. Pay me no mind.
So he seems to be pretty consumed with the fact that his mission has been a failure so far, and leaving his companions alone in the catacombs definitely not something that would be expected from someone that took such a great pride in his mission. So I guess we can kind of presume that something happened to them. Something happened to his party. Either they're dead, or maybe they became hollowed. Maybe he just lost track of them, because the catacombs is a pretty confusing place. But we'll see that going forward. I don't think the storyline actually progresses until we make it to the Tomb of the Giants. And that's going to be after Anor Londo, so we got a little whiles to go. He also does not have any exit dialogue for us during this part of his story. And he doesn't have the talk option, interestingly enough. I guess he just doesn't want to speak about whatever's been going on. And I said I wasn't going to do any more jumps, but fuck it. I'm here. I really want that goddamn ring. Because believe me when I say, it makes Blighttown a lot easier. Nice. This time we're not going to fuck this part up, though. You can get over here to this building by going up here. I thought... Oh, God. Please. Oh! I don't know how I fell off that time. Whatever. Guess that really is a nail in the coffin. So fuck it, we're gonna go down to Blighttown. The alternate way. I said that you could get there from the depths down there by the Gaping Dragon, and you can, but that's not the way I usually go, because that first part of Blighttown is awful. Especially if you're ill-equipped, and we don't have more than one purple moss clump. So I don't want to do that. Lautric's here. I don't know if he leaves when we clear the catacombs or when we clear Quelaag. I believe it's after we bring both of the undead, both of the Bells of Awakening. So we might actually have to talk about Lautric now in order to get his story before it progresses.
Oh, hello. I'm considering a change of location. I have a rather pressing matter to attend to up above. That keeper has served me well, but enough with her. Oh.
So that's actually the only dialogue he's going to give us now. That's just telling us that he's getting ready to move to Anor Londo. Whenever people say up above, that's usually where they're referring to. In the first video, or the video that we beat the gargoyles in, I showed you where Anor Londo was on that cliffside above Sun's Fortress. So it seems that Lautrec is going to go there for some reason. We don't know what his mission is right now. We don't know what interest he has in Anor Londo. Maybe he's meeting somebody there, looking for something there. We don't know at this point. But we do know that he has some sort of interest in the Firekeeper. And it doesn't seem to be a very wholesome interest. So we'll see where that leads us. This is the beginning of the new Londo ruins. This is the undead city, or former undead city, that was flooded to prevent the spread of the dark at some point. Long ago, though. We know it's long ago because of the state of disrepair. The ghosts won't attack you from this far up, and these hollows aren't really a problem. They don't care about you so much. We're not going to go there into the actual ruins because we don't want to die. I don't have any transient curses, and I don't feel like running past the ghosts. But walking to the tower that you can see coming out of the Firelink Shrine elevator shortcut, this is the back way to Blighttown that opens with the Master Key. And this opens into the Valley of the Drakes. But the actual valley and the actual drakes are further along over there. So we don't gotta worry about them. So you'll see that gets very, very dark in Blighttown. And I kind of misspoke during last video. The depths isn't a subterranean area, actually. You could see light streaming in from the Gaping Dragon boss fight area. Blighttown is not subterranean either, despite its looks, as we'll see. It is actually just under the shadow of Lordran, of the Undead Burg. So I thought that was cool. It's really just because of its location that it's like that. These guys, pretty annoying to fight in pairs, but I forgot to aggro them with, like, I forgot to aggro them with a ranged weapon beforehand. So now they're both coming after me, and they are not happy. Misjudging the distance again. Beautiful. I gotta get... Oh, shit. Okay, well, we don't want to die to these guys. Getting swarmed, it's pretty easy to do. I don't know, man. I'm dropping the ball a little bit. They don't follow you past that area, though. So, if you're having trouble clearing this specific part, just walk back, let them reset. They will reset after a while. But at least the Zweihander deals enough damage to them so that we don't really have to worry about this dragging on too long. They have a lot of poise, so generally you're not going to be able to stun them to the hits. And they drop dung pies. I don't know if they can drop anything else. A good tip is that dung pies are consumable items that cause toxic on enemies, but they also build up toxic on the user. But the toxic that they afflict on you is different from the toxic that the blow dart snipers afflict, although because it's the same status effect, you can only be under the effect of one at a time. And because the dung pie's status effect is less severe than the blow dart sniper's status effect, you can self-inflict toxic using that and then not have to worry about the blow dart snipers being able to hit you. Very cool. Something to keep in mind if they're giving you a whole lot of trouble, which they very well can. He's dead. Drops another dung pie. We, in particular, don't need to worry about the blow dart snipers because we're going the way that evades them. Oh, I fucking hate those guys. Here we are in Blighttown. You can see that that area over there lights up because, like I said before, we are not underground. You can see light streaming up from above if we get out from under this overhang, which we'll do momentarily. This chest over here has the key to the New Londo ruins. I forget. I think that actually opens up the gateway that we opened with the master key. But normally, if you don't have the master key, you will not be able to get here yet and get that key without going through the entrance part. These are one of the big enemies in Blighttown, the crag spiders. We don't know what manner of creature they are. They seem kind of like they might be some sort of malformed undead. But but I don't know for sure. Lots of ladders though in this part. Crag spiders cannot follow you up ladders, which is nice. There are another enemy, these mosquito enemies that we've seen, and they'll follow you through the level. They're not actually infinitely respawning. You can see some points where they do not respawn, or where they respawn, and then just wait at the beginning of the level for you to pass by. You see some of those at a distance. That crag spider tried to follow us down and died due to fall damage. That's funny. Ran out of stamina, so we couldn't dodge. And if you're in human form when you come over here, you'll be invaded by Maneater Mildred, who is one of those butchers we saw earlier. That's cool character. She carries the Butcher's Cleaver, which is one of the weapons that restores health on hits. And she is one of the easier Black Phantoms to deal with because of her long attacks and her lack of poise. So when you see that 3 strong attacks from this Zweihander were enough to kill her. And what she drops is a little bit of humanity for us. She drops the Butcher's Knife as well, so that's good. Butcher's Knife is actually a pretty good weapon. Despite just its effect, its stats are good as well, as I will show you. 90 base damage, not the best, but already has B scaling with strength, which is cool. Giant Butcher's Knife wielded by the undead man-eating cook lurking in the depths. More a tool for subduing and preparing live catches than an actual weapon. Those who have faced this deadly blade have a deeper sense of how helpless prey must feel. Actually, I think I might be misremembering the effect on this. I don't know if this one actually restores HP. I think I might be thinking of the Butcher's Knife from Dark Souls 2, but I don't know, we'll see. We're not going to need a phantom for this part, I don't think. But one thing we are going to do is kindle this bonfire down here, because poison can be kind of annoying, and a lucky hit from anything is going to make that even more annoying. We'll save the exploration of this area for next time. Right now, I just, you know, since I spent a lot of time in the beginning running around, I just want to get something done. So I'm going to go fight the boss first, and this is kind of to show you the quick way of getting through this area. I'm going to take a point of endurance and one more of faith, and then we're going to begin that run. So we have purple moss clumps equipped, and from this bonfire, if you want to pretty much bypass the entirety of this level and just get on with the boss, you'll run over here by that windmill we were at earlier, and then take this route through the swamp. You see that the poison meter constantly builds when you're in these waters. It doesn't deal a whole lot of damage, like no burst damage really, but it has a long effect duration, which can be frustrating if you are out of purple moss clumps. Don't want to chug Estus too much in this part, because then you're not going to have it for the boss. So try and keep at least one clump on you, so that when you get poisoned over here, you can clear it up and then heal before you make it in the boss chamber. But if you run to this side, you're going to avoid those big barbarians that have the shields, or not shields, the rocks. And we're just going to eat a moss, heal it, and then head into Quelaag's domain. So this is the boss area. The setup is pretty cool. See all these spider eggs over here, and these poor looking dudes that seem to be praying with egg sacs attached to their backs. Well, that's not nice. But before we head into this boss fight, we're going to heal. Like I said, don't need a phantom. Most of her attacks we are actually going to need to block because of the way that their hitboxes work. But if you beat Maneater Mildred in human form, she becomes a summon for this boss fight. Not good damage, but she is a pretty good tank. Little spider bobbies, man. Alright, so we're just gonna run up on her to start. She has a couple different attacks she can do. A lot of them involve the spider in some way. If you try and stay as close to her as possible, she will most likely be using the sword attacks, and those are the easy ones to avoid. The ones that are harder to avoid are that lava attack, because as you can see, it lasts for a while, and if you step in it, it deals fire damage, as you would expect. So we're just going to try and kind of like kite her around so that some of the lava subsides. We're going to do that jumping attack, and it spits lava. Annoying. When she does those sword attacks, you definitely want to stay... Oops. I kind of started to break my own advice. You want to stay as close to her as possible, because she can't hit you if you're like right up here on her, just because of, you know, how those attacks work. She has a few different ones. The lava one, and variations of this lava one are ones that you're probably going to have to worry about if you're a ranged character, as well as the jumping attack. A simple roll backward is usually enough to dodge that one. For the fire ones, the sword ones, stick close. You can get in a couple hits. Oh, we're going to get hit by that one. Oh, nice. Okay, so if you're too close to her, and she hasn't hit you with an attack, then she's going to do that charge up explosion attack, and she's going to lay like right up against the spider's body. And that's when you got to start running, because that one deals a shitload of damage to you. If you find yourself unable to close the distance for the sword attacks, just do a couple rollbacks and put some distance between you and her. But like I said before, running up towards the spider's face is enough to get out of the way of every sword attack that she does, actually, so... It seems like it should be hitting us, but hey man, I'm not complaining. This longer one is another punishable one, but she can chain that in with her explosion attack pretty quick. So keep an eye on her when you're doing this, as opposed to the spider's head. She is kind of the one that is going to broadcast all of these different attacks, not the spider. But not a difficult boss if you know how to position yourself. I know for a lot of these bosses it seems kind of weird that you want to run straight up onto them, but sometimes that's just exactly what you have to do. And the way that the bosses have of dealing with that is different, so just keep that in mind. She drops the Soul of Quelaag into Inhumanities. We can examine that. We actually haven't gotten a whole lot of boss souls yet, because a lot of the early bosses don't drop souls. Soul of Quelaag, once daughter of the Witch of Izalith, but now a Chaos Demon. Special beings have special souls, and Quelaag's soul contains all aspects of chaos. Use it to acquire a huge amount of souls or to create a unique weapon. We do not have the means to create unique weapons from boss souls yet. We will later. I think it's the giant blacksmith that can ascend weapons into boss weapons. I don't think Andre can, and I also don't think that Vamos, the skeleton blacksmith, can either. And that giant blacksmith is located in Anor Londo, which we will see. So this is the lever for the second Bell of Awakening, down here in Blighttown. And we'll go ahead and ring it. I need a homeward bone for doing that. It's interesting, actually, that it takes the 2 Bells of Awakening to stir that giant. I guess that is a method to ensure that the one that's ringing the bell really is the chosen undead and not just some, has-been. Not some wannabe. This bell is in a much more dangerous location and is much harder to ring, presumably. So down here, that is actually a path that leads to the Demon Ruins and Lost Izalith, but we don't have a way of getting there yet. We can hit that wall, and it's an illusory wall that leads to this interesting-looking chamber with another egg bearer right here.
Oh dear, what have we here? Are you a new servant? But you have no eggs. Ah, no matter. Go along and have audience with our fair lady. I pray that you will mind your manners.
So this is Engi. He is a servant NPC. All of these egg bearers are servants of the fair lady, who is this individual, this thing that looks a lot like Quelaag does. Some people call her Quelan. I don't think there's actually any basis for that, because I don't think her name appears anywhere, not in design works, not in any official documents and stuff. So I just call her the Fair Lady. And you can talk with her. She is a bonfire keeper of this bonfire, so she can reinforce her Estus Lass with bonfire keeper souls. She also has a covenant, which is servants of chaos, something like that. But basically, it involves giving her humanity. And I think that Engi and the other servants of chaos, they sacrifice their humanity to her to keep her alive, because she seems very pale. That spider underneath her it looks like it's basically dead, and it looks like she's trapped. I think we can get the Old Witch's Ring, which is a starting item that you can get later in the game by trading an item with Snuggly. But we can get that and actually unlock her dialogue options, because until we have that, she does not understand what we're saying. This covenant is also the one that lets you save Solaire, or it's one of the possible methods you can use to save Solaire. By paying her 30 humanity, it unlocks rank 2 of the covenant, and that lets you open up the shortcut to Lost Izalith through the Demon Ruins, next to the Fire Sage Demon. This wall, I think this is where you find Kirk's body. Actually, once you beat him in all 3 locations, you come back through here. His body's laying up against this this wall, and it has the Knight of Thorns set. I don't know if I want to do... I don't want to rush to this bonfire. It's already lit, but I don't want to mess up our homeward bone location, because I don't want to do all that running back through the swamp. I'll homeward back to the other Blighttown bonfire that we used. And I'm not sure how long this video is actually, but because of all the shenanigans at the start, I don't think we're going to have time for anything else, which is unfortunate, but it's not too big a deal. Blighttown's a big area, bigger than the depths, I believe, at least harder to explore, that's for sure. So we will get into the meat of Blighttown next time. I'll show you the proper way to go through Blighttown, maybe, or at least how you do. But I really dislike doing that. It's kind of pointless. There aren't very many items of worth up there. However, there is another Firekeeper Soul, which we will get. There's a Dexterity weapon that's pretty cool that we'll get to, even though we're not going to get much use out of it. It's cool to note where that is. But I think that'll do it for today's episode. Thanks for watching. Hope the commentary wasn't too awful. Like I said, I'm sick, so not much I can do about that. But I wanted to get this video out for the sake of consistency. Don't know if there's going to be a video tomorrow, actually, because I actually start work, so that's nice. Gotta be nice to be making money. But I guess that's beside the point. Until next time, I will see you guys later.